what I'd like to do is I'd like to start off with the grip, okay? Our grip has to be, it's not like our golf grip, okay? It's not. What happens is the left hand comes from underneath to where I get it into this part of my hand like this, okay? From here, my hand is under, and I just want to get my thumb on top of the shaft. So what that feels like is the club grip itself is right in this part of my hand. But if I just come underneath it like this, so I'm coming from the underside of the shaft, this would be the top, this would be the bottom, and these would be the sides. So if I come into it from the bottom and just get it to where my thumb, I'm not worried about cranking my hand all the way over. I just want to get my thumb, I want the club to be there, and I want my thumb to get on top of the shaft. Then I want my right hand, however you've got to do it, to get your thumb, not the pad of your hand, just the thumb on top of the shaft, okay? And I'll explain why that's important when we go to the part on how we make a putting stroke. But right now, it's very, very critical that we get our hand to come from underneath the shaft, which it feels like it's in this part of my hand. It's not in my fingertips. It's just in this part of my hand. And by doing that with my left hand, then I just put my thumb, I don't crank it over like this, I just get my thumb to where it's on top of the shaft. Then my right hand, I just come and put my thumb there, okay? For those of you that putt cross-handed, or left hand low, I just want to get the left hand on, and then I want to do the same with the right. I don't want the pad to manipulate it. I just want to get here, thumbs on, okay? Now I just want to come and I want to get the right hand to do the same thing. It's coming into this part of my hand, okay? It's not cranked over and it's not too loose. So the cross-handed people out there, we just get on like that, and as you can see, my thumbs aren't up and down the shaft like this. It doesn't matter about that. If you think about your fingernail, your thumbnail, that's the only part here that I'm really concerned about that you get on top of the shaft. So cross-handed, like that. This thumb is at an angle, so what? This one is kind of slightly offset. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is our thumbs, this part of our thumb, not our whole thumb, but this part of our thumb has to be on top of the shaft, okay? And that's how we're going to get to the grip. That's cross-handed, and that's traditional, all right? And then it's just got to be to where the shaft is right here on this part of the wrist, okay? So it's just right there. If I pressed it forward, I'd be able to feel the butt of the club hit this part of my arm, okay? If I took the club here in this grip and pressed it forward, I'd be able to feel the grip of the club hit this part of my arm. If I get over this way, see how it's not going to hit my arm? If I get too much here, see how it doesn't hit my arm? If I get here and just get in my hand like that and just put my thumbnail on top of the shaft and press like that, it's going to hit my arm every single time. See how it hits my arm? It hits my arm. This way, it doesn't. This way, it doesn't. So we've got to get it to where it hits the left part of the arm. All right? Now that we've got the grip established, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we get set up correctly to hit the golf, to make a stroke in our putting motion. What we've got to do first and foremost is we have to get our eyes over the golf ball. And I'm going to use the down the line view to show you how all this works. If I get my eyes over the golf ball, like a lot of people, in order for me to get my eyes over the golf ball, my head has to be down like this. A lot of people think that they get their head here, and they think, okay, well, I'm looking at it with my eyes, but my head and everything truly is centered over here. I need to get my whole head down to where my eyes are looking directly over the golf ball. Now, how do I do that? Okay? We come into it, and we're set up, and we get into our posture, and all we're going to do is we're going to put our hand on our belt buckle, and we're going to push back and up. And as a result of that back and up action, as I'm letting my head fall down, that's how I get my eyes over the golf ball. I get here, I push back and up, and get down with my head. It almost feels like my head's going right into my chin, into my neck area here, but it's not. It's just my head comes down as my butt goes up and back. Then my arms are just going to hang freely. I'm going to get a majority of my weight on my left foot. I don't do it this way. I just get stacked on my left, feeling like I have 80% on my left foot. So now that I've got my eyes over the golf ball, I've got weight on my left side, 80% on my left. My arms are just going to hang freely, and then my hands have to be underneath my shoulders. So what that's going to look like, there's the golf ball. We're going to come in. We're going to get set up. We get there. Now I'm going to get my eyes. See how right now, if I stay in this position, my head and my nose are pointing this way. I've got to get my nose and my eyes pointing here. So all I do that, if this is our reference point, I go back and down with the head. Now that you can see, my nose is right here and my eyes are right over that golf ball. So now we get 80% of our weight on our left by pressing down. Then we just let our arms hang freely with the proper grip that I just showed you. And our hands have to be underneath our shoulders. That's how we get set up in perfect posture with the correct grip to make a perfect putting stroke.